Oh hey, welcome back to another video from Desi Summer. I hope you're doing great. I just want to read a story for you. I've got my I've got my an book, the banana robber, right over here. So I thought maybe I could read your story today. Uh, would you would you have any preferences for the story, or should I just pick up a random one because we have like got a lot of stories over here. Which one do you prefer? Would you like to read a story about an animal or um, we have a lot of it, yeah. Even if you look at the first story, you can see that. Oh, I'm sorry about that. The kitten that disappeared. That's about a kitten. And Tick and Tag, Pip the dog, that Dash and Brownie, the Easter chickens, and the poor little owl. That's also about animal, the banana robber. So, by the way, banana robber is this guy. Lost baby mouse. Okay, let me read this one. So let me just that Dyson brownie. Okay, let's read the Dyson brownie. That's it. It's at 116. Let me have a look. Okay. Okay, that's it. We have got the Dyson brownie right over here. Let me read it for you. Okay. Um, Farmer Strauss was very angry. In his dairy, there was a hidden brownie, and try as he could, the farmer could not find out where he was hiding. He sips my cream at night, drinks the milk, licks the butter, and nibbles at the cheese, raged Mr. Strauss. That tiresome brownie. Wait till I catch him. A little chuckle came from somewhere in the dairy, and the farmer glared round him. Where could the brownie be? It was most peculiar, really. Mr. Strauss had looked in every corner, in every pail, in every churn. Um, he had run his hand along every shelf and had even climbed up to the rafters and looked there, but not a thing could be seen. There were there was no brownie to be found anywhere. I told you there was a brownie about, didn't I? Said the old cow woman, Dame Milky. And didn't I tell you to put down a saucer of cream for him each night so that he wouldn't get into the dairy and plague you? Ah, I know the ways of those brownies. I do. A saucer of cream and they will leave you alone, but neglect them and they'll play you some fine tricks. What I can't understand is where he hides, said the farmer, scratching his head. I have looked everywhere. Yes, it's a puzzle, said Dame Milky. I have looked too, but I can't see him either. And all the time you hear that wicked little chuckle of his. Ah, I would like to get my hands on little rogue, so I would. Master, why not go to Mother Buttercup and ask her to look for the brownie with those sharp eyes of hers? She's a rare one for seeing. So Farmer Strauss went to Mother Buttercup and begged her to come and tell him where the brownie was hiding. She came at once and peered round with the little sharp eyes. As she looked, a small chuckle sounded from somewhere. Mother Buttercup looked both at once and then she nodded her head and turned to the farmer. You won't ever find the brownie, she said. He can't be seen. He's invisible. He must have drunk some magic drink that makes him unseeable. Ah, Farmer Strauss, he'll be there for the rest of his life and years, tormenting you and plaguing you. Why didn't you set down a saucer of cream for him as Dame Milky told you? He would have been satisfied with that. She went off, and the farmer sat down on a stool and groaned in despair. It was bad enough having a brownie tease him, but to have one that could never be caught because he couldn't be seen was worse still. If only he could get hold of him to give him one good slap. Aha, said a small voice nearby, and the little brownie chuckle came again. The farmer turned, but of course he could see nothing at all. He went to the farmhouse to his tea. His two children were there, sharp little monkeys called Jack and Rosie. They saw their father looking gloomy and they asked him what was the matter. So he told them with much shaking of his head, "He's ruining me," he groaned. "The milk, cream, butter, and cheese I have to throw away each day. You see, the brownie turns. It's sore when he touches it. It's no use for anything. Well, if this goes on, children, you won't either of you get those ponies you have been wanting." Okay, father, but you promised, said the two children in dismay. Well, you think of some way to get hold of this brownie, my dears, and you can have your ponies, said Farmer Rose, and off he went to feed his pigs. Father, 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 will you promise to let us have our ponies if we get the brownie for you? Jack called after him. All right, shouted back the farmer and went into the pig sides. We can't catch that brownie, said Rosie to Jack. If anyone could, it would be old Mother Buttercup or Dame Milky, but they haven't done so. Just wait a minute, said Jack, his eyes gleaming. I have got an idea. I'm going shopping. Coming? Off they went. Jack went to the chemist and got 5 pence worth of stuff or sneezing powder. Then he went to buy himself and Rosie a pair of stout gardening gloves. Rosie could not think what he was doing. Wait and see, chuckled Jack. Have got a fine plan. That evening, when the milking was done and the cream was set out in the bowls in the dairy, the two children crept in at the door. Shut all the windows, said Jack, and I will lock the door. This was done. Then Jack told Rosie to put on her pair of thick gardening gloves, and he slipped his on too. From somewhere in the dairy came a tiny chuckle. Jack heard it. All right, my fine fellow, he called, and I can hear you. You'll be caught in a minute. There came sound of louder chuckle, uh, and Jack grinned. No wonder that Brownie had angered his father. Get out, you handkerchief, Rosie, whispered Jack. Hold it over your mouth, and I'm going to pour this sneezing powder into every corner of this diary, and then my word, we will have that brownie in our hands before we can say Jack Robinson. Rosie held the handkerchief to her mouth. Jack took off the box of snuff and began to blow into every corner. And soon he heard the sound he wanted to hear. Ashoo, ashoo. Ah, he's over there, said Jack, and two children rushed to a far corner. But the brownie slipped between their legs and got away. Ashoo, ashoo. He sneezed, and again the two children rushed to the place where sneezing came from, but once more the brownie escaped. The children could not see him, but sneezing was so loud that they could always guess where he was as soon as he sneezed. Ashoo, 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 sneezed the brownie, trying his best to stop his sneezing, but the more he tried, the worse it got. Ashoo, ashoo. Over there by the milk churn, cried Rosie, and often the two children. They felt the brownie slip by them and very nearly caught him that time. He's very small, said Jack. We must put our hands down to get him next time. Jack blew out some more of the sneezing powder, and once they heard the brownie sneezing without stopping. Ashoo, 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 ashoo. Over there, shouted Jack, and two children ran to the corner where the sneezing came from. Both put their hands down and caught hold of the small, wriggling body. Got him, cried Rosie. Hurrah! Hooray! Uh, Brownie began to bite and scratch for all that was worth. Rose was glad that Jack had thought of buying thick gardening gloves. She shook that Naughty little creature hard and cried, "Now behave yourself, let us see you, and maybe we will bargain with you and let you go." The brownie suddenly became still in their hands and they looked down. He was beginning to be visible. He was gradually appearing before them. First his pointed, cheeky face, then his long arms and his rounded body, and last of his short, knobby legs. There was this, there was, there he was, the wicked little brownie, grinning up at them and once more trying to be wriggle out of their hands. "Let me go," he said. "No, till we had a talk," said Jack firmly. "Now listen to me. We have got you, and if we hand you over to our father, you will get such a spanking. I wouldn't like to be you." "No, no, I don't do that," begged the brownie, really frightened. "Let me go. I promise I won't plague your father anymore. Just put down a saucer of cream for me each night and I'll be good. I won't put so much as one eyelash into the diary. I promise you." "No, not one saucer of cream do you get," said Jack. "You will go right away from here and you will never come back. If you ever come around here again, I will use my sneezing powder and hand you over to my father at once. I promise that." "Just a little saucer of cream each night," wailed the brownie. "Oh, if you're going to be a nuisance, we'll give you to father straight away," said Rosie, and she made as if she were going to take the brownie out to the pigsties. He screamed and kicked and tried to bite through her glove. "That's enough," said Jack sharply, and he gave the brownie a slap. "I will do all as you say. I will, wept the naughty little creature. I'll go this very minute." "Off you go then," said Jack. He let the brownie slip from his hands, and the small creature hopped out into the farmyard and looked about to see which way to go. The farmer, coming out from his pigsties, saw him and shook his fist at him. Same to you," yelled the defiant brownie, and made a rude face at Mr. Strauss, who was too far away to get him. But the farmer's dog saw him, and he came after the brownie with a loud bark. "Oh!" shrieked the little fellow in dismay and hopped upon a wall. He ran along it, leapt into a bush, and disappeared. And that was the last they saw of that tiresome brownie. "How did you find him?" Farmer Strauss cried. The children ran up and told him. Farmer Strauss slapped his knee and roared when he was heard about the sneezing powder. "A pretty trick, a pretty trick," he shouted. "Well, my clever ones, if that brownie leaves my diary alone tonight, you shall have your ponies." The cream, butter, and cheese were all untouched that night, so the children got their ponies, and very proud of them they are too. As for the brownie, goodness knows where he went. He, he should ever come to you, remember this. Put a saucer of cream down for him each night, and he will play you no tricks. But if you forget, you will soon long to spank that tiresome brownie. So that's about tiresome brownie. I hope you had enjoyed the video and you're sleepy. Let's go to sleep. Good night.